You ever have one of those days where, before breakfast, you're already being accused of being armed and dangerous on your own land? That's how it started for Meth Day. I learned just how far some folks will go to protect power built on nothing but paperwork and pure bluff. Let me tell you, if you'd been sitting on my grandfather's porch that Saturday afternoon, you'd have thought the world had turned upside down. I was just unpacking boxes, minding my business, feeling the history in those old cedar logs that had seen 71 years of my family come and go, when Diane Thornfield, I'd never even met, called 911 and told them there was a man with a weapon refusing to leave the premises. That man was me, and the weapon was a screwdriver I'd been using to fix a busted door hinge. But Diane didn't need facts. She had a clipboard, a security team, and a plan. Within minutes, 2 sheriff's cruisers barreled up my drive, lights flickering through the pines like something out of a nightmare. The deputies Sullivan and Hammond got out slow, one hand on his weapon, the other scanning for trouble. The look on their faces was all business, but you could tell they weren't buying every word coming from Diane's lips. Especially not once they saw my stack of paperwork spread across the hood of my truck Colorado driver's license, inheritance deed, utility transfer, moving receipt. All of it proving, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that this was Caldwell land and had been since 1952, long before Pinewood Hills HOA existed. Sullivan looked over my documents, nodded, and then turned to Diane, asking for proof that her HOA had any claim to this place. That's when a mask slipped just a flicker, but I saw it. A little crack in her confidence. She tried to wave it away with talk about community standards and new zoning laws, but Hammond was already shaking her head, pointing to my boundary maps and survey stamps. This wasn't her show after all. The officers handed my papers back and, in a tone you reserve for liars and time wasters, told Diane she was out of line. "Ma'am, this is not a criminal matter. If you have issues, take them to civil court. And, for the record, filing false reports is a serious offense." Then they were gone, leaving behind only settling dust and a tension in the air that you could feel all the way down to your boots. Now, you'd think Diane might have taken the loss, licked her wounds, and backed off. Oh no, she just got more dangerous. As soon as the deputies left, she gave me a smile that would freeze the marrow in your bones tight-lipped, eyes glinting like cold steel. "You're all alone out here," she hissed, "surrounded by our community, depending on our infrastructure." And then she was gone, phone in hand, plotting her next move. 48 hours later, it started. Monday morning, my property looked like a crime scene. Orange violation notices stuck all over the yard, a compliance team out front, Diane in a fresh BMW with an envelope of fake fines and assessments totaling over $8,000. Not one county seal, not a single authorized signature, just pure intimidation designed to scare someone who didn't know better. Lucky for me, I did. But Diane was just warming up. "You may own that little cabin," she sneered, "but you don't control the access road. That's Pinewood Hills infrastructure. We decide who gets in and out." For a second, I'll admit me heart skipped. No road, no way to the cabin, no deliveries, no emergency help. But her confidence had the desperate smell of someone bluffing with an empty hand. That's when Mrs. Margaret Whitley, 73, hair in a silver ponytail, garden gloves in hand, came walking up. "Son," she said, "you're not the first. Diane's done this before. Rodriguez family last year, same game. Road access threats, environmental nonsense, 8 months of legal fees before they gave up and moved to Arizona. Turns out Miller's barn, Thompson's guest house, all the same playbook. Pressure people with fake authority, wear them down, snap up the property cheap." And just when I'm thinking this couldn't get dirtier, Russell Thornfield appears, Diane's husband, all silver hair, an expensive briefcase, claiming to be the HOA's lawyer, spouting off statute numbers like he's on TV. Only, when I ask for his Colorado bar number, he blusters and dodges. Mrs. Whitley rolls her eyes. She's seen this show before. Russell delivers his threat. "You'll be hearing from every county agency. blah blah, but land with less impact than a wet firecracker. 3 days later, I'm at the county records office, sitting with a clerk who looks at my pile of deeds and survey maps, then at me, then back at the documents. "Mr. Caldwell," she says, "your grandfather didn't just own this cabin. He owned the entire access corridor parcel A4401952 from Highway 285 into what's now Pinewood Hills. You could have knocked me over with a feather." Turns out, the HOA had been operating on my family's private road for decades, sending warning letters to themselves about unresolved easement issues every year since 2018,
Hey, stop it! What do you
hoping
think you're
nobody
doing?
would notice.
Sir,
But
step
Diane
back
noticed.
immediately.
She'd been requesting old documents, prepping her game, hoping to keep the road ownership hidden. That's when I realized this wasn't about enforcing community standards. It was a preemptive strike to eliminate anyone who might unravel their whole scam. Next morning, the Pinewood Hills treasurer nervous guy, with the energy of someone about to confess to a crime, shows up at my porch, folder in hand. He'd seen the real documents of the county office, pieced together Diane's $18.5 million resort deal with Avalon Luxury Resorts. Turns out, she'd promised clear, unencumbered road access for a massive development, collecting commissions and bounty payments to drive out Resistance Seam and every other outlier. Russell? Not a lawyer, just a con with a briefcase. And Diane? She'd built an entire criminal enterprise on lies, fake legal documents, and intimidation. The treasurer laid out the whole timeline. First, eliminate properties that might challenge road access. Second, prep the paperwork for Avalon. Third, cash in and vanish, leaving 147 families stranded on a road they never actually owned. I walked into the emergency board meeting that Friday with everything: deed, survey, insurance warnings, the works. Diane tried her best power suit, slides about fire danger, Russell reading fake legal citations. But when I produced the original deeds and insurance letters, the room shifted. Mrs. Whitley testified. Residents Googled statutes. The fire marshal admitted his inspection was a paid sham. When I challenged Russell's credentials and proved he wasn't a lawyer, it was over. Diane lost control of the room, doubling down on threats. "We'll block your road. See how you like being cut off." Bad move. Saturday morning, she had her security crew put up metal barriers, trapping half the community inside. Mail trucks turning around. Ambulance delayed 45 minutes. What she didn't know, I'd brought the sheriff, a county road engineer, and a professional surveyor. In front of the whole neighborhood, the surveyor announced the truth. This road parcel A4401952 belongs to Ethan Caldwell. Diane had just committed criminal trespass, and everyone knew it. I forgave past unauthorized use, but set new terms: 30 days to arrange access agreements, new management, and Diane and Russell permanently banned for fraud and trespass. Signs went up: private road, Caldwell property, authorized access only. Road fees established. Residents adapted better maintenance. Fair rules, peace returned. Diane, meanwhile, watched her empire dissolve lawsuits, asset freezes, criminal charges. Russell was disbarred. Media had a field day. HOA president's $1 million land grab scheme exposed. The community rebuilt. Full transparency, open meetings, professionals handling contracts. The wrong families were welcomed back: apologies, restitution, justice. Diane, still stubborn, tried to claim adverse possession, laughed out of court in record time. The final act? Diane, stripped of everything, came to my porch, offering partnership. I told her, I only do business with honest folks. Her last threat, "Wait until winter, you'll see," sounded hollow. The community thrived, maintenance better than ever, property values stable, people grateful for real legal protection instead of dictatorship. Diane's gone now, just a cautionary tale. I sit on my porch, road signs shining in the morning sun: Caldwell Private Road, community access since 1952. Sometimes justice isn't just served, it's served with a side of irony so perfect it makes you believe the universe actually keeps score. Now, let me ask you, have you ever seen fake power fall apart this fast, or watched a whole neighborhood wake up in one afternoon? Drop your wildest HOA story in the comments. I guarantee there's folks out there who need to hear that real authority, when used right, can restore a community better than any scheme ever could.